This assignment is the Johnston Shelf long side walls. So we're going to build the frame for the walls and the long side. Okay. Now if you look at your PDF file, the first two pictures, it's going to show you the left side and the right side. As stated in the previous assignment, we're going to be using standard 2x4 boards, which, as we know at this point in real life, measure 1.5 by 3.5. And we're going to use those to construct the walls. It gives you your dimensions here. This is more or less just a demonstration of what it's going to look like. It gets into the actual dimensions using these pictures here. So it shows spacing. Our vertical boards are going to be 7 foot 5 3/4 tall. Okay, so let's go over to our SketchUp. And at this point, you've already got everything designed. So let's just go over here, and I'm going to grab one of our pre-existing boards, and let's copy that over. And we're going to put down the board on the floor as per the instructions. We're going to start with the left side. Okay. So instead of having to create a whole bunch of different boards, we're going to try our best to use existing stuff. So let's just kind of rotate that over. Before we get too far, don't forget we're going to make this one unique, because we are going to quite possibly make some adjustments to it. So the left side does not have a bottom board. Now the reason for that is they're going to be putting stuff in here, and if it had a bottom board, it would limit the space that you could practically use on this bottom shelf. So we're only going to have our vertical boards. Now the spacing is shown here, and the height is demonstrated here. So that's 7 foot 5 3/4. Okay. So let's just spin this thing up. Like so. And is unique. And let's edit this component. So we're going to make this 7 foot 5 3/4 inch tall. So we've made our mark, and there we go. Let's push this down. Okay. Now some people push this over and that'll disappear like that. Other people like to push down. It's up to you. Okay, so we've got this board. So let's quickly look at our instructions here. It shows that this board is going to be located in the corner here. Now if we look over here and we scroll down, the other board's going to be there. So I'm going to start with those two boards, even though it's a little bit out of sync as far as the instructions go. So let's grab this board and move it on over like so, and let's copy it and drop it off over here, and we'll get back to that later. Okay. So our first space from beginning to beginning is 3.5 inches. So let's go over here and go, and 3.5 or 3.5 for the decimal people. Let's look at our instructions for the middle. So it says the space to the first one from the space to the first middle one from the beginning of the first one is 6 feet 5 1/4 inch. So let's just lay that out quickly. So we'll go 6 feet 5 space 1/4 inches. Okay, that's going to be the location of that one. Okay. Now we're going to basically just have two of these next to each other. So we're going to copy this over. Like so. Now if we go back to our instructions, it'll give spacing for this one. That's 3.5. Okay, so let's go over to the end. And I'm going to quickly grab it, copy it using my control. And I'm going to go 3.5. There we go. So the vertical boards there are done. Now if you read this, it says finish the wall with a board on top. Okay? So we're going to do that. So you could use one of these boards and rotate, or you could just grab another board from here, make it unique. I'm going to grab one from here. Let's quickly make that unique. So, spin it around like so, and let's just move it on over and put it on top. Okay. Let's push that in. Go add a component and touch that, and this wall is complete. Okay, so for this step, we're going to grab this board here and we're going to make it unique before we forget. We're going to rotate it on face. And let's put it up there. Just like so. Okay. Now we know we need a board on each end. So let's do that. And let's go over here. Now according to our instructions, that's our end board there. And this is our first board spacing. So the first board spacing is 11.5, and then all the middle ones are 1 foot 4 inches or 16 inches on center. And so we're going to do that. This last oddball one is for a nailer, and we'll get to what that does in a later assignment. So let's just quickly, let's copy this up and 1/2 inches. Now, I'm going to introduce you to a technique that makes really quick of these middle ones. So let's just go copy that. I'm going to type in 16 inches. Then I'm going to type in a number of copies I think will fit, and I'm going to give the space. Well, it's going to know the space because we typed in 16 inches, but I'm going to give the number of copies, and it's going to continue that spacing. So I'm going to go 12x, enter. Now all these. Now what it did do is it gave me an extra one. That's pretty easy to get rid of that. Now from beginning to beginning is 3.5. So let's just move this on the end. So we'll go 3.5. Okay. Now as per the instructions, finish a wall with a board on the top. Let's do that. We'll use the same board that we had on the bottom. Let's just copy that out and put it on top. And that's it for this assignment.